I'm Adele Diamond. I'm the Canada Research Chair Professor of Developmental Cognitive Neuroscience at the University of British Columbia in Vancouver. There are many things parents can do to help their children develop executive functions. One is to provide opportunities where executive functions are needed and challenged and need to be practiced. So, for example, storytelling is a great example of how the child really needs to pay attention without the benefits of pictures on the page or puppets or video, and has to use working memory to hold in mind everything you've been saying. Remember the characters' identities, what happened earlier in the story, to relate that to what's happening now. So as you tell stories, you're helping your child develop executive functions. Another way is to provide aids so that your child can practice executive functions before your child could do it on his or her own without those aids. So, for example, sometimes pictures or signs can help a child remember what he or she is supposed to do when they wouldn't be able to remember otherwise. The best way to develop executive functions is to challenge them and train them and practice them, but also to indirectly support them by enhancing things that help them, like joy or social support, and minimizing things that impair them, like stress or sadness. So think about what activities require executive functions and challenge them, and provide emotional support, joy, social support, belonging, and you have to use your body. Well, you come up with traditional activities that we've always done. Music, dance, play, sports, things that, people have done since society's been in existence. Those things all help executive functions. When should certain executive functions be manifest? That's really hard because there's so much individual variation. And they're developing during the time you're in school. Now, before you get to school, everybody's comfortable with babies starting to walk at different ages, starting to talk at different ages. We have no problem with that. And we know that the late talker is probably going to be just as good at language at age 2 or 3 as the early talker. But for some reason, we don't really appreciate that when it comes to executive functions or reading or math. And we worry so much when a child isn't ready to do it early. We think, oh no, it forebodes horribly for their school career and their life. Instead of giving children the time and space they need to develop at their own rate, because it really doesn't matter if you get it 6 months earlier or 6 months later. Different activities directly affect executive functions, indirectly affect them, or do both. So reducing stress indirectly helps executive function by taking away something that impairs it. Something like mindfulness both helps you develop attention regulation and executive functions to some extent, and also helps reduce things like stress, which indirectly help executive function. Most every activity has both aspects. So you think about sports, or you think about playing in the orchestra. You need to use executive functions to remember complex sequences, to be able to concentrate and pay attention, but you're also indirectly supporting executive functions by giving kids joy, helping them feel socially supported as if they belong to a group. So it's doing both.